When you see the lodge up on the hill, there's a bass lake below it, you think, gosh, when I grow up, this is what I want, because it's just the coolest place. You think about all your friends coming to hang out, and this is where you'd want to come. It's just a neat place, and you can tell all these guys are old friends from the stories they tell. And Harry wanted Massey to come out and hang out with us. It's kind of how it all began. So why not all of us go to the ranch, do a little whitetail hunting, and Crystal is going to go after the elusive aoudad. This ranch is probably the perfect habitat for aoudad, and hopefully we can get her on one, but it's going to be a great hunt here, and I can't wait to get to the blind and see what's out here.
Growing up ranching is a simple life. It taught me values crucial to carrying on our heritage. Living off the land and taking care of the animals on it was part of life. From the mountains in Montana, the deer stands in Texas, to the plains of Africa, I have been blessed to go on these great adventures. This is where we practice conservation. Hunting and fishing plays a major part in this effort. Being out here with my family, my friends, is what makes memories that will carry me through my lifetime. I'm just a simple blue-collar guy with a passion for the outdoors, and I want to bring that to you.
Having your own ranch, has been a dream of mine for a long time. And the definition of cash is not cash. It stands for Kathy, the C is my wife's name, Austin for my partner's name, and then his wife is Sherry, so that's the S, and then the H is for Harry. So that's how we came up with Cash Ranch. And when I got into it, I just wanted, basically real wide, typical looking, tall tine, heavy horn, not the non-typical look. I wanted more of the typical look. My friend Jeff Massey, I met him years ago at a bass tournament, and we've been friends ever since. So we live in the same town, and we've been on a lot of good hunting trips together, and he's introduced me to a lot of good people and vice versa. And when he introduced me to Jay and Crystal, I was just like, sure, let's do a hunt. I mean, this is going to work.
Texas has just got so much diversity. You've got hills and rocks and flatlands and brush, and deer need three things: food, cover, and water. And we've got the cover and we've got the water, but sometimes the food plays a big role. And so these corn feeders that we put out doesn't only provide the deer food, but it gives the hunter a chance to make an ethical shot. You can't shoot these deer in the brush. It's too thick. You can't even get to them. So this is a great way to attract the deer to get a good shot with your bow or a rifle, especially when you're hunting a ranch like this. Jack County is so rugged, so thick, you can't even see through the brush. Well, I got to go hunting with Massey this year in Africa. We just got back from a Cape Buffalo hunt. We've got to be great friends. We give each other a hard time, but Massey's that friend, and we all have it, that no matter what he does, he's probably gonna be successful. He goes out to the blind in blue jeans and his bow, we're gonna shoot a buck, and a buck walks within 15 yards of the guy. He's just that guy.
Smoked a nice little lake point on the Cache Ranch. I don't think he went far, do you? Here at the Cache Ranch, buddy of mine, Harry Blake, owns HB Hunting Products. Doing a little management hunting for him. Getting rid of the small 8s. He's got some giant deer running around this place, so beautiful place, Jack County.
So we've got a new young guy. He's really eat up with outdoor hunting, filming, hunter drenning. So this is his second trip with us, and he's doing really good. So it's perfect. I'm gonna send him with Massey, and I send these guys to the blind, and of course, Massey's luck, the deer walks right in front of him, and he makes a perfect shot. Way to start the show off. At least I've got something on film, because sometimes my luck doesn't go that well. It might be day 7 and I'm sitting in the blind, but Massey makes a great shot, fun set, and he's got a nice buck down.
Blue Collar Adventures is brought to you by
Glacier, simply the world's finest. Wicked Tree Gear. Tecumate.
Huskama Optics, Stealth Cameras, Fleer Hunting and Outdoors, Kuiu Ultralight Hunting.
Again, I got a lot of help, from people in the manufacturing business, in the deer breeding business, in the hunting business, just which way to go with it. And I met a guy that was pretty smart. Don't want to mention any names, but he told me to build the best product for the best price. So I feel like I build the best product on the market for a good price. I'm not the most expensive and I'm not the cheapest, but the quality's there. Texas does have, it is legal to hunt in the deer blind. It's legal to hunt over a feeder, which, it's an attraction. Very unique place just because of the cover that's on it. And, I'm not that big of a bow hunter myself, but, I can see where people, and I got friends that come out and they all tell me that, that if they're a bow hunter, they say, man, it's a perfect bow hunting place. Just because of the cover and how thick it is, and it's just set up for it. Our rifle blinds are, the longest shot is 150 yards because, it's too thick. But we got both, blinds set up at 20, 30 yards. So, if you want to bow hunt, you can bow hunt. If you want to rifle hunt, you can rifle hunt.
Harry's got a couple bow stands. They're almost too cool. They're probably 20 feet off the ground. They're a big platform deck with a wall about this high. And he's got it at 2 different places. And we're right in the full rut. And when it's full rut down here, these bucks lock down with the does, and they're really hard to find. And that's the big misconception of hunting over a feeder. It's not a guarantee. They're not always gonna come. Everything plays a role from the full moon to the rut. And so we're moving around trying to find these bucks, and we have to go get something we didn't want to use. We find an old pop-up. I've got the greatest pop-up in the world, but we borrowed one, and here's me trying to set it up.
The pop-up, okay? Pop-up.
Here's why we use HB blind.
Yeah.
Right here. There, got it. Why would you want to put this? Yeah. Well, it looks like it's where do you want the oak? We're over there. We're over there. So we wrestle around with this thing. We're hoping it doesn't spook anything. The first buck comes in, looks, runs off. I'm thinking, man, we're in trouble. night goes on, we start seeing some other bucks come through. It's exciting. I was really wanting Crystal to be sitting here in this chair, but we decided, you know, just stick it out with your bow, let me hunt. She had a great bow hunt last week. So I've got one tag left, and I'm hoping to see a buck of a lifetime. And I look around the corner and here he comes.
Blue Collar Adventures is brought to you by Carbon Express, Traeger Wood Pellet Grills, Cinnamon Creek Ranch Ultimate Archery, Newmont Mining Corporation, demonstrating leadership and safety and stewardship of the environment. Nature Blinds, the most realistic hunting blinds on the planet. Spot Hog, the world's toughest archery products.
When you're hunting a ranch that the owner makes blinds and feeders, there's gonna be some feeders out here. In Texas, they feed these deer cottonseed, so there's a big cottonseed feeder. That's why these deer are coming in here. And to our right, there's a feeder pen with corn, and that buck jumps in there, and there's no shot, of course, with a bow. We're on the ground. There's no way I can get a shot at him, so I have to just wait and hope he'll come by us where we're sitting. And when he jumps the fence, I think my heart rate went from about 100 to about 180, because I was already worked up. My heart was thumping pretty good. And all I could think of, draw back, stop him. This is the only shot you're gonna get at him. And it all happened like a blur. I haven't had that much buck fever in a long time. As soon as that grunt came out my mouth, my trigger released. Got invited out here to Harry Blake's HB Feeders. This guy is the best feeders, the best blinds that you can build in Texas. And he's got some huge deer. I just shot the biggest buck in my career ever in my life. I cannot believe it. They got so many big deer in here. I passed a beautiful buck earlier. They've got big aoudad on this range, but their feeders and their blinds, they're just cool. And I got to be friends with Harry, and I said, man, those are the coolest for the guys here in Texas that hunt with blinds and feeders. These things are solid steel. Aoudad don't tear them up, and if you have ever had aoudad come to a feeder, they do. But I'm stoked. I'm a little bit nervous. That deer is massive. So I'm gonna go find my arrow. Take our time. I'm whispering still. It just happened. The Luminoc looks like a pretty good shot. He's quartered away, but it was just in your mind. I've shot enough deer with my bow that it was one of those that I was like, it could go either way. You know, I might have just made a 2-inch mistake. And in archery, 2 inches makes all the difference in the world. So we're gonna give it a minute and go see the arrow. That's the first step for me, is to look at the arrow, see what it looks like, and we get over there and it's just covered in blood, the way you want to see your arrow. Good blood. You see it all blood? Lechings are bloody. But I want to see tooth of the arrow. We're gonna go in there. It's gonna be dark in the interview, guys, because I always let them sit, even if I think I got them good. I'm gonna go back and just hang out. Trying to scare these other bucks off. So many times, bow hunting, you get excited, and I've done it. That's why I'm talking about it. You go and you find a bloody arrow, and you find some blood spots, and you go too fast. Archery is all about patience. It's patience waiting for a good shot, then it's patience letting everything happen that needs to happen. And so Crystal and I looked at the footage. It's a good shot, but it's not the shot that you're just like, I'm 100%. And any time that's not 100%, we back out, we go and sweat bullets, and we wait it out. We give him several hours, because I don't want to push this big buck up in this mountain and I'll never find him. It's dark 30. It's the moment of truth. So we go back, we find 2 big puddles of blood. That's a great sign. That's a good start. It's thick, it's brushy, and we start following the specks.
He's got to be close.
I just hope we find this deer.
Was it right here?
Holy cow, here he is. Here he is. Oh my gosh. Look at that buck. Look at that buck. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. That's him. Golly. That might be just the biggest buck ever. He just got crazy stuff everywhere. It was a intense night. A little bit back. It's really in a decent spot. Leg down. I really like to hit him more here in the lungs, but that looks like a pretty decent shot. But I just didn't feel, gosh, I'm so thankful. I just didn't feel like it was perfect. And this buck is just so big, and any buck, if he's questionable, gosh, we found him. I can't believe it. I've been nervous for hours, guys. We backed out for several hours, and it's so hard to do that. And I've made that mistake so many times to not back out, and we backed out and it paid off. You know, it's 4 or 5 hours after we shot him. It's dark. I knew that when I told you guys it was going to be dark when we found him. Just when in doubt in archery, back out.
Our game plan out here at Cache Ranch is to make everybody happy. And to see the smile on that guy's face, you know, walking up to that big deer, you know, everybody's satisfied, everybody had a good time. You know, it's just hard to beat, just hard to beat. To see a buck like that out on the ranch that you don't remember, it just, you know, it makes you feel good that you're doing something right.
Blue Collar Adventures is brought to you by Taco Casa, real fresh, real food, real good. Vortex Optics, the force of optics.
So Massey, he's already got 1 deer down, and it's just how this guy hunts. Something's gonna show up, something cool is gonna happen, and this might be the biggest hog I've ever seen in my life.
HB condo. The only thing that would make it better is if I had a recliner. Big son of a gun. Little 6.5 284. Best of the West. Eskimo optics. Deadly. That is a big pig. That's fatter than I am. We're gonna need some help.
I wish Massey probably would have let this pig go, because I think if we caught him, he could have rode him. He could have rode him around, we could have broke him to ride. He's big enough to pack Massey around.
Blue Collar Adventure, Jay Presti, and hunting on the Cache Ranch with HB Hunting Product and Harry Blake, Austin Baker, doing a little culling. Shot another big pig. This is one of the biggest pigs I've ever shot in my life. Shot him with a Eskimo optic, 6.5 by 284, best of the West. Wasn't a long shot, 150 yards, but he went, I think you can see it on film, he went straight down. Good night.
You know, if we want to entertain or just, you know, bring people out to have a great time. And we do that about 4 or 5 times a year. I mean, my wife, she's got 4 or 5 of her best high school friends. They come once a year and spend 3 or 4 days, and they're out there, they're out here by themselves, 5 or 6 women, and they hunt, they shoot targets, they drive around, they do everything. And you know, it's just a nice place to hang out.
Texas is just a great place to be. We've got a little everything from the coast to the wineries to big deer. I love Texas. Watching whitetail bucks chase does and seeing pigs come in and just seeing the leaves change in the fall. I've been so blessed. You know, this is probably one of the last shows of the year, and what a good way to go out. A lot of people have helped me get here, and I would never sit here and tell you I'm such a great hunter. Look at this buck. It's all because of my ability. It's just because of great people like Harry letting me come hunt their place, and all the companies that have helped me be able to stay out here and do this for 10 years. And thanks to you guys for watching that long. And it's been fun. What a ride.